My weekend codependency on alcohol has brought me many good things. For instance, it's made my wife's female friends way more tolerable. I sit there downing beers, listening to her friend cry about this month's breakup, and I'm thinking to myself, no, Shannon, this one didn't ghost you because he couldn't handle a strong woman. He ghosted you because you're a raging bee. But I don't say that because I'm drowning my situational sorrow in a 24-pack of Guinness. Then I get told what a great listener I am. And I'm like, no, I'm not a good listener, Shannon. I'm just so drunk that I can't feel my face. But once again, that codependency paid off because in the case of this figure, I was about elbow deep in a bottle of whiskey a couple of Friday nights ago. And I decided out of pure boredom to check Amazon to see what was available, and I stumbled upon Studio Series 86 Sludge, and it was the proper MSRP for the US, and it was sold by Amazon and shipped by Amazon, and it was a figure I've been hunting for weeks. And in my stupor, I hit the buy now button and fell asleep, dreaming of what could potentially be mine. Both the Studio Series Sludge and a hangover. Now, we, for the most part, all know Amazon. And in the past, in my personal history, they've canceled pre-orders, canceled straight up orders, and even sent me the totally wrong item once. So needless to say, I don't trust them. And let me tell you, they didn't disappoint. Because my sludge arrived in a box that could best be described as a practice ball in a soccer tournament. I even hesitated to open the damn thing. But luckily, the fig wasn't damaged. And oh, what a figure it is. But before we continue, please feel free, like, share, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. Because, man alive, woo! I'm going to start out with this one in dino mode, where I can truly say, this is a big ass boy. Woo! Man, oh man, oh man. Look at this guy compared to Grimlock. I had to flatten Grimlock out just to show you how long this guy is. And Slag, don't even bother. Slag compresses so much. But man, they really just nailed this look. They even managed to get him to compress down perfectly so that he can match up with Slag. That's pretty impressive. And this guy actually manages to have a pretty decent amount of heft compared to the other two Dinobots. Hell, compared to most leaders and some commander class figures. Even the legs manage to articulate pretty nicely, I gotta say. The front and the back legs are fully articulated. And since the hind legs are also the arms, you can even get a decent pee on a post pose. Say that 3 times fast. He even has a fully articulated neck to simulate the sticking your head in the ground pose, much like an ostrich. Now, don't get it twisted now. This isn't all cupcakes and candy. There are some flaws with this thing. Number one, look at the box. Look how wide this dude's mouth can open and how gigantic the blast is coming out of his mouth to shoot down these Sharkticons. And he can't accomplish that. Not even close. He can't open up that wide the way the peg is positioned. You can't put big blast effects in there, sort of like you can even achieve with Grimlock. So to me, that's a slight nitpick negative. The other thing is, I've transformed this thing twice already since getting it, and I can't get this gap to go away. What the hell? I can't get it to not be there no matter what I do. I haven't done any real research into this aspect of the figure, but yeah, hit me up in the comments if you've had this happen, or you know anyone that's had this happen, or if you've seen this online happening. But I can't get this thing to close all the way. It looks like Rodimus Prime's trailer just will not close. The other thing is this giant gaping hole in the bottom of the dinosaur mode. I mean, every time I touch this thing, I swear I'm gonna get a call from HR telling me to come downstairs, because we need to have a discussion about some of the choices I made in sticking my finger in certain places. Now, after a pretty decent transformation, you end up with this. And oh man, come on now. You can't tell me this doesn't look good. This is shelf presence in its absolute glory. Like, these three just look meant to be in your collection. This is fan-freaking-tastic. Now, once again, this isn't all candy and cupcakes, because first thing I had to do when I got this guy out of the box was check his legs, because I know the legs and the hips have had horrible problems with the ratchets, either bending, breaking, or coming out being backwards. Like, everything's just a mess. And after the whole Galvatron arm assembled incorrectly incident, I always kind of laid back on pre-orders. I don't really pre-order. I just wait for stuff to become available as it becomes available. And I can report this guy's legs, at least on this run of this figure, are fixed. They are perfectly done. The ratchets, the soft ratchets, are good. It's strong. It doesn't fall over. It doesn't bend weird. He can stand up all on his own. And for size comparison, I mean, look at this. I mean, they just scale perfectly with the other 86 Studio Series 86 figures, and also with some of the Kingdom figures. I mean, they just scale well. This is like every G1 fan's like wet dream right here. This is it right here. So besides a couple of glaring things that I find in robot mode, mostly being that the tail portion of the dino mode just stick out on the sides. Now, I know that's kind of cartoon accurate to a point, but still I feel like they could have found a way to better hide those parts. But yeah, it doesn't hinder posability, and he poses very well. Legs can go all the way forward, they can go all the way back. If you adjust the dino legs that are pleasantly located in the back there, he can do the full Van Damme, and his arms can rotate 360, but eventually the little wing is going to pop off, because unlike Grimlock, Slag and Sludge do not have their wings pinned onto the back there. They're on these sort of like little knob things, and they're just, yeah, it's horrendous. So just be aware when you transform it, you're not breaking it, it's just they're on these weirdo tiny knobs. Arms can bend a little bit over 90, and you have wrist rotation, and his head can move from side to side, and you could cheat it up a little bit, and you could cheat it down slightly. And I mean, since he's so tall, you can just bend his legs and just have him peek over, because he doesn't have an actual tilt at the waist. And seriously, can we talk about this dude's mug for a second? I mean, look at this guy's head. It's gigantic. He literally looks like the guy who has to special order his football helmet before he goes out and rams his body into people at about 30 miles per hour. Now, if you don't count the dino head that you have to attach out of the box, he only comes with one accessory: this gun. It's screen accurate, it's painted gold, looks really, really, really good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I can say about it. That's literally all I can say about his accessories, because there's only one. So what's my final opinion on this thing? Yeah, if you're a G1 fan, it's a must own. If you're a Dinobot fan, obviously it's a must own. If you have Grimlock and you have Slag and you just want to complete the set, it's a must own. It does have its flaws, as I talked about in the video. There are a few design choices, mostly, that are just weird. Like, I'm not going to say it any other way. They're just weird. The gaping hole in dino mode, where they could have easily had something fold in there. The fact that the dino tail in robot mode just kind of sits on the side there on his legs. I mean, they could have found a place to hide it. They found a place to hide it on Slag, and they kind of blended it in well with Grimlock. I think they could have made a better design choice there. But overall, it fits in perfectly. This is shelf presence, as I said earlier. I could not recommend this figure more. Just mileage may vary. Be very wary, because there might still be some of those copies with the faulty legs that are, you know, just a detriment to a great character, great figure. I enjoy it. It's definitely a buy for me, obviously, because I bought it, but I think it's a buy for everyone. This is definitely a pickup. So get out there, get this figure, and with that, be safe, be good. And this is the Drunken Prime, cracking open another beer and signing off. But seriously, come on, look at the three of these dudes together. Like, seriously, when Snarl and Swoop come out, I'm not even going to have room on my review area. I'm going to have to, like, expand my review area, and, like, I don't know what I'm going to do when those two come out, because I think they're just going to take up all the damn space. Because yo, seriously, this is it. This is the shit right here. I'm blown away by how awesome this is. Like, this literally is what everyone's been waiting for, and we're actually getting it. Hasbro is actually giving us stuff we actually want. So yeah, get out there, get this. It feels good in the hand, good quality on the copies that work. Get this figure, get it.